Previously, we went over the C++ function stack frame, how RBP represents the starting point of the stack for the current function, as well as RSP, which represents the endpoint. In this video, I wanted to go over the red zone. The red zone is a low-level compiler optimization that tries to save a few CPU cycles. RBP usually is the base pointer, and then RSP does this thing called subtract, and it usually subtracts some amount of bytes, which is what the compiler thinks that the stack frame should be. So if you've got maybe 3 or 4 numbers, RSP might get 0x14 subtracted from it. That would be the stack frame for that function. What the red zone is, it's a compiler optimization that says, actually, you don't need to do that. The compiler knows that if you're on an x86, Mac or Linux, then you're going to have 128 bytes right below RSP for your use if you're in a leaf node function. In order to explain this more clearly, I think it would be helpful to look at some C++ code. Here is the C++ code that I've created for this. So I've got int main, and then I've got mySum function. Now this mySum function has a lot of variables. Don't worry too much about this, but the point of this is to illustrate exactly what the red zone is. So let's take a look at what the assembly looks like for this code. What I'm going to do is make, and I'm going to do default. So I'm going to make the default version of this. And now let's see what happens. This time around, what you're going to notice is that all these variables are declared, but if we scroll up, RSP is being set to RBP, but for some reason, we've skipped that subtraction step. We've not moved this RSP pointer. And that's exactly what I want to talk about in this video. That's what the red zone represents. As I was trying to create the previous video, I ran into this issue. I was trying to learn about how RBP and RSP work, and I was like, hold on, if we're declaring variables like this, shouldn't there be some sort of subtraction from RSP right after this line? And there wasn't. I was looking at the assembly and I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me. In this case, it avoids running this calculation that looks like this. Subq 0x14 RSP. In this case, it would have been 0x80, which is why if we go to our assembly code, we're not moving RSP, we're leaving it exactly where it is, and RBP is able to access these variables even though RSP and RBP seem to be at the same location. So it's essentially a compiler optimization. Note that it only works on leaf node functions. So a leaf node function is a function in this case that does not call another function. This function, mySum, is not calling any other functions inside of it, so that's why this optimization is automatically running inside of the code. The last thing to note is that this type of assembly is going to get automatically generated on x86, Mac OS, and I believe Linux, but it's apparently absent on Windows, so it doesn't work on Windows. Let's prove that this only works for 128 bytes. By the way, that's exactly why I wanted to use this many variables inside of this helper function. So I've remade the file, and this time around we're in the same function. What I've done is I've uncommented this one line of code, which implies that this function is going to take more than 120 bytes. This time around, we are subtracting something. Well, we're subtracting 0x4. This essentially confirms what is happening. So if I do RBP, and let's do RSP. And here you can see that RSP has only been moved by 4 bytes. I can't say letters in reverse. What is it? A, B, C, D, E, F. So F, E, D, C. Okay, so we've essentially only moved RSP 4 bytes down, but the compiler is able to figure out that it can use all this data, right? It doesn't have to use only 4, but it goes all the way down to minus 0x84. And that's essentially how the red zone works. My assumption here is that in a lot of cases, right, like if you've got a helper function that's a leaf node function, it's possible that, you know, in many cases, you end up not using this many bytes of data. So they just decided to kind of say, all right, well, let's just make some sort of compiler optimization. Of course, you can always disable it. Let me exit this and let me do clang-g mno red zone main.cpp-o main. And this time, if I run that compiler flag, and I run through LLDB, you should see that if I go into this function, I'll scroll all the way up, and there you go. You've got the subtract queue x86 RSP. We see that this red zone optimization is disabled, and now we can see the compiler actually allocating this amount of space, 84, because that's where the last variable is being added to RBP. So it's allocating that much space. And of course, at the end, it's going to have to add that space back. It's essentially just a compiler optimization, which I think it's pretty cool that they decided to do that. That is not something that I would have ever come up with. I'll be honest, when I was reading through the code, I was like, why am I not seeing this one subtraction? It should be happening. And it turns out that this is just one of those optimizations that you kind of need to know about. And I just thought it was interesting, so I wanted to make this video on it. And of course, the other interesting thing is that it runs on Mac and Linux, but it's pretty much absent on Windows, so I guess there's also a difference between different machines. So personally, I would actually have preferred if they didn't do this on Mac OS, if I'm being honest. It was very confusing. I don't like passing in this no red zone flag. I also don't like that it's different on Mac OS and Windows. My brain has to kind of like remember that there's just like this red zone thing that's going on this compiler, and it's not on this other compiler if I'm ever working on a Windows. But that's just the way it is, and that's just what we're going to do. And yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. If you enjoyed that, then hit the like button, and yeah, consider subscribing for more weird little interesting tidbits of C++ just like this. If you have any questions or comments, then leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll try to get to all of them. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.